Here's every balance change coming in Season 4 that you need to know about. I'm going to go ahead and put some timestamps just below so that you can go ahead and skip to whichever part you want. Also, real quick, just want to say that we do now have a Discord. You can go ahead and join the channel Discord. Just below, there's a bunch of cool stuff in there, and you can hang out, chill, post stuff, just be a part of the community, and it'll be really hype. Love you all. Okay, so first of all, probably the biggest one here is that the heal beam is getting nerfed. I don't think this has got a nerf ever since its release, so this is kind of insane. From what I understand, the heal rate is actually going to be slower. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to heal less, because obviously the time might go on longer, and so it might heal the same amount just over a longer time. I don't know about you personally, but I for one definitely think that this is a much needed change and has been for a while. I really hate fighting a heavy who's just getting healed and can out-heal literally any DPS I throw at him. It's ridiculous. I'll legit sit there as light and die, and I'm like, how have I not killed you? And after I will have done like 500 damage to a heavy, and it's just because he's had one medium sat behind him holding a button. It's ridiculous. I also think that this might add some more strategy, obviously, because you're going to have the time when you're healing, where you're healing, how you're healing, and kind of not use it all at once. So I think that is much better of a change other than holding down the button and looking at the heavy for as long as possible. Okay, so continuing on with medium changes, the data reshape is actually getting changed. I don't know if you guys even remember what this is. I, for one, definitely didn't because I've never used it in the entire game. But it's that gadget that got added in to change objects to other random objects, such as turrets to plant pots. Personally, I never see this used at all, so I think it's a good sign that it's finally getting a buff. You're going to be able to use it 3 times now instead of 2 times, and it's also going to increase the range that you can do it from 15 meters to now be 20 meters, so you can basically change objects from further away. Once again, I think this buff was much needed. I have never once seen this item used in ranked. Maybe you have, maybe I'm just a really rare case, but legitimately never. And finally mines are getting a nerf, by the way. This is taking forever. These things are ridiculously overpowered. I hate them so much, and if you watch my streams, you know how much I rant about them all the time. I'll be running around, I'll be in a fight with someone, I will have done so much damage to them over so long amount of time, put so much more skill and effort into a fight, and all they have to do is run up a staircase and press 2 buttons, and I just immediately die. It's ridiculous. Okay, so now you're only going to be able to get 1 glitch and explosive mine, which is so much better than just being able to spam 2 down and insta-kill your opponent in a fight. And explosive mines are going to do 20 damage less, which is just, once again, great, because the more nerf these things get, the better, I think, because they are the most skillless, easy to use, ridiculously overpowered weapon I couldn't think of. I'm trying not to get opinionated, but if you couldn't tell, I am strongly against these things, no offense. So yeah, I'm pretty much super chuffed that these things are finally getting a nerf. And continuing on with medium, the AK is actually getting a nerf, which is kind of cool. Don't worry, it's not going to break the gun in 2. All that's happening now is that it's getting 4 bullets less in its mag capacity. It's going down from 36 to 32 rounds. I don't think this is bad at all, and honestly, I kind of agree with this change as well. It's another great one in my opinion. I mean, the amount of times I've run around someone for like 5 hours and they'll be missing every shot and they still have enough bullets to kill me as a light, it seems a bit dumb when they've missed 90% of the shots they've taken. I also think that this gives the FCAR more liability compared to the AK, because to be honest, I don't see it used over the AK that much anymore, like compared to how it used to be. I don't know why, I think it was just more of a change in metas, so hopefully this will balance out the 2 options a bit more and make both of them a liable pick again. And now sticking with medium weapons, the grenade launcher for the medium, or the CL40, is getting a buff. You might remember that not too long ago they nerfed it so that it had less splash damage, which I think was a good change, but it's kind of made the thing unusable in comparison. I'll try and show some footage up of me using it, because I did try yesterday when I heard it was getting a buff, but honestly, god, this thing is difficult. I think the max kill game I got with it was 15 in like 5 games. It's ridiculous. So what they're doing is they're buffing it to 115 damage, or it's somewhere around there anyway. It's essentially getting 20 extra damage on top of what it currently does, which I think is not too bad of a change. I mean, it is alright at the minute if you can aim. You've got to treat it more like a marksman rifle, I think, or a revolver, I guess, with precision hits than an actual grenade launcher, although so that being said, you can do some splash damage with it. But I think a buff would make this a liable pick in ranked compared to some of the other weapons like the AK and FCAR. But yeah, that is pretty much everything from medium, so we're going to go ahead and move on to heavy next. I know we're doing this in weird order, starting with medium, but I don't know, this is just how things happen, so you'll have to deal with it. Okay, so firstly with heavy, both of the LMGs are getting a recoil buff. This means that the recoil for both of the guns is going to be a lot easier to control compared to what it currently is. Honestly, I don't have a problem with the recoil that much, but maybe some people do. I guess what the devs are trying to do here is make them a more liable pick compared to the amount of sledgehammers that I've seen being used lately. On to the next thing, which is insane. The RPG is getting another nerf. The thing is getting nerfed into the ground. This season it's been doing 140 damage, so that's why you keep getting left on 10 HP as a light. But starting this season, it's only going to be doing 100, so you're still going to be in play as a light fairly well. Honestly, I don't know if this nerf is going too far. Maybe some people will heavily disagree with me, but I for one think that the RPG should still put fear into people. It shouldn't just be a little toy weapon. But that being said, no one ever really swaps the RPG out for any other heavy gadgets, so maybe they're just trying to get more in play. And I guess it is kind of annoying for someone to just be able to one-tap a light or win any gunfight by just whipping out the RPG when they want to. But I think maybe 120, 125 damage would have been slightly better than this, but I guess that's just a personal opinion. Again, probably very unpopular one too. But I just haven't really been getting one-tapped by RPGs as much this season, so, you know. Again, this is all just personal opinion, and I would be really interested to know what you guys think in the comments below, or in the community Discord. That's right, I linked that again. The final heavy change is to the mesh shield. This is a pretty big one, I'm sure you've already heard of it. It's going down in health from 750 to 500, and plus you're no longer going to be able to toggle it on and off constantly. It's getting a cooldown between activation. When you turn it off, you're going to have to wait quite a few seconds to be able to turn it back on again. Like I say, I don't really play too much heavy, and I've not really been playing too much ranked either towards the end of this season, so I guess that they're trying to stop constant toggle shielding with stuff like the hammer and flamethrower, and just people being able to run up to you and constantly toggle your shield on and off to do damage. In which case, I do see this working and as a big win. However, I also do see the side of the cooldown being fairly annoying and too long. To be honest, I don't know how long the cooldown is in particular to a specific time, but if it's too long, that's going to get even annoying for team play as well. If it stops you being able to actually strategize with your team, it's kind of a bad nerf, but I don't know, maybe we'll see how this plays out. Like I say, I don't really see another counter to that over annoying DPS tactic. But anyway, finally we are going to move on to light. First change comes to the light sniper. The bullets are now going to curve and have drop off instead of just being straight to the target like they are in the game right now. That's right, you're actually going to have to arc your shots to be able to get them across the map hits. I am so happy about this change. I hate getting one tapped in the head from some sniper light who has not moved off of a roof of a building on Monaco for the entire game. It's ridiculous. Should not be a thing, and I'm glad that we're finally doing something to add some amount of skill to it. Plus, it doesn't know if the actual skillful stuff with the sniper where you're running into a building and trying to quick scope or whatever, I guess. And in line with the sniper, the tracking dart is getting a balance change, I guess. You're now going to get 4 tracking darts instead of 2, but you're going to get less time that the person's tracked for with each dart. This thing is pointless. I don't use it. I don't know why you'd use it. If I've just hit someone with a tracking dart, it would have been so much better to just hit them with my gun immediately. Like, think about it. If I hit you with a tracking dart, I could have also hit you for 115 damage with a sniper rifle in that moment. I don't get the point of the tracking dart. It's ridiculous. Anyway, maybe some people do enjoy it, and maybe it's got some insane ranked strategy for teams that I just don't know about. But yeah, like I say, I don't use it at all, so let me know if you do use it, what you think of it in the comments. Next up is breach charges and smoke grenades. You're going to get 3 of each now, which is kind of cool. Honestly, getting 3 breach charges is kind of crazy to me. I used to run breach charges all the time in Season 2, but light gadgets now are just so much better. Why wouldn't you use them instead of a breach charge? So I think they did need a buff, and 3 charges is pretty decent for that. I don't know how much damage that'll do on someone, but you're already waiting for the cooldown between them, I think, so I mean that's fair enough to me. If you can place 3 breach charges on a cash out to drop it, then fair. I think you deserve to get a kill or at least stop someone stealing, so I think that's an alright buff, I guess, in my opinion. The backstab with the dagger is also getting a change. You're going to be able to hold the backstab stance as well, and then you're going to have to hold it fully back and then release it for max damage. Guess that's cool. I have legitimately never used this weapon. Actually, it might be a lie. I think I used it 1 game on stream when we were doing random loadouts. That was legitimately it. So, honestly, don't even understand what the change is. I'll be real with you all. Maybe you do. Finally, is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. The throwing knives are getting a buff. Why do these things need a buff? They are insane. I get insta-killed by them all the time. But I guess devs don't see it that way. To be fair, the buff isn't that bad. It's just going to be that you're able to charge the right-click or L2 attack faster. You know, the big damage one. Fair, like I say, it's not that bad of a buff, but honestly these things are still insane, so I don't know why you'd give them anything. They are such a liable pick already, in my opinion, but to be fair, what do I know. There's also some minor stuff with the riot shield, but I didn't think that was really worth going over in this video. Anyways, that's going to pretty much wrap up the video nicely. Go ahead and subscribe if I helped you out, and if you want to see more Season 4 content, it will be coming soon, so please do stay tuned for that. Love you all to bits for watching this, and have a great day. Thank you so much.